In the year 2004, tragedy befell the family of Lawrence Kitimbo that left him without a leg, an injured brother, and loss of life of his other sibling. This occurred as the three brothers walked on the roadside on their way to fetch water. At just 11 years, Lawrence and his other surviving brother began a journey of persons with a disability after they were hit by speeding cars that collided and skidded off the road, killing and injuring innocent road users in Kamuli municipality.
I got involved in a fatal motor accident with my family, and I lost my left leg. And my brother, too, is also an amputee. My youngest brother passed away.
At an early age, Lawrence went through tough times to recover both physically and emotionally. Despite this injury, Lawrence never gave up but adapted to the new life and continued with his studies up to university.
When you get a physical disability, which is permanent, it's not easy to accept. First of all, there are a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of challenges.
Because of his passion for sports, Lawrence gradually started engaging in minor sports activities with some of his fellow amputees. He started volunteering with the Uganda Paralympic Committee in 2016, where he got chance to promote amputee games, mainly football in Uganda. This translated into a football match with some of the UPDF amputees from Mubende Rehabilitation Center, and this marked the starting point of their professional amputee game.
Being a boy who was passionate at playing when I was still a kid, before even the amputation, when I learned about amputee football, it was there, but it was not being played here in Uganda professionally. I came back to Kampala, I started mobilizing fellow amputees in Kampala. Then our first engagement, we had a friendly match with the soldiers from the Mbende Rehabilitation Center.
This would then be followed by several football galas with different amputees from other groups including UPDF, border riders, and former sports personalities. In 2017, Lawrence started a process of formalizing the group into the Amputee Football Association of Uganda, becoming its pioneer president.
That we were lacking the executive structures, and we wanted to make amputee football very serious because we had a lot of examples outside there in other countries. They were serious, they had a lot, they were doing it professionally. So we had our first general assembly, and I happened to be the first president because I was the founder.
The team is now professional and is spread across the country, with the members selected from different teams across the country. The team has twice represented Uganda internationally since its inception and is yet to take part in this year's Paralympic Games to be held in Accra, Ghana, under the government funding.
But we are going to compete with different teams all over Africa, and most of them are the best teams in Africa, but we are going to also compete with them.
Even with his determination, Lawrence experiences several challenges ranging from stigma, mobility, hardship, and inadequate access to basic needs.
We face a lot of stereotyping, negativity from the communities, our families. Many people, they are discouraged. They are like too negative and they discourage sometimes.
Nonetheless, Lawrence forms that number of road crash victims whose life had turned around by an incident that could have been avoided through good road use. On average, the accident and emergency department at Mulago Referral Hospital receives more road crash patients as compared to other emergencies.
Per day, you will have about maybe between 30 to 40 patients who are involved in these road traffic crashes, like averagely on a day.
In a day, the unit receives at least 30 patients involved in road crashes, out of which 70% are victims of motorcycle rider crashes.
About 90% of the trauma we get are road traffic crashes. What's interesting is that about 70% of these will involve a border.
Dr. Gideon Kurigamba is the head of the Accident and Emergency Department at Mulago Referral Hospital that runs 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Due to the demand, the department is subdivided into 3 sections and has 3 rooms in the operating theatre that handle different emergency surgeries. At least 10 surgeries are carried out in a day and about 300 in a month, out of which 70% are road crash surgeries.
We are lucky we have about 3 rooms in the operating theatre for the accident and emergency only, not for the hospital. And averaging in a month, we have about 300 surgeries.
The department has the highest expenditure with lots of funds directed to the procurement of surgery sundries, and this suppresses the budgets of other departments.
The cost per month, it comes to about 1.3 billion shillings to take care of the severely injured patients. And then per year, it's a budget of about maybe 18.5, 20 billion shillings now.
The surgery cost for an average patient involved in a road crash is at least 3.5 million for a minor surgery and 13.5 million for a major surgery.
Yeah, because if you are to give quality care, like to every one of these patients, considering the ones who are moderately injured, you will need about maybe 3.5 million Ugandan shillings per patient.
Apart from the high costs, the overwhelming number of patients also mounts pressure on a thin human resource, impacting on service delivery in other departments. The surgeries performed, among others, include amputation. At least one person involved in a road crash is amputated weekly.
We may get maybe like 1 or 2 cases in a week who might have this mangled extremity that may need amputation.
According to the 2022 police report, 20,394 crashes were registered, out of which 3,901 were fatal, 10,776 were serious, and 5,717 were minor. Casualties were 21,473, out of which 4,534 were fatal. Serious injuries were 15,227 and 1,712 were minor injuries. 61% of all these crashes were as a result of reckless driving. Most road crashes are due to human error and can be avoided if all road users exercise patience, respect each other, and take charge of their lives. Susan Naonga reporting for UBC TV.